It's been some time now since the opposition in Venezuela gained a 2/3 majority in the National Assembly. And I think it's a good time to take a look at the country, at the situation, the opposition, the Popular Socialist Party, the ruling one, and the people of Venezuela, and see how things are going. One of the things that has been really interesting is the sudden appearance of food and other consumer goods that were in shortage just recently. People have taken to social media with pictures of food that has mysteriously appeared on shelves that was in shortage the last couple of months, and that since the opposition won the majority in the National Assembly, all of a sudden it's just appeared out of nowhere. And this is very reminiscent of the economic war, the economic sabotage that was carried out in the 1970s by the Nixon administration against Chile. And one of the things that the Venezuelan government has been warning, the rest of the world has been warning, is that the United States is doing the exact same thing to Venezuela today. So the sudden appearance of all these goods on the market right after the opposition gaining the majority in the National Assembly it's really not surprising. But here's what's really interesting. Most of these goods have been expired for 5 months, which means they've already been there. They've already been somewhere. And then now, all of a sudden, they've mysteriously appeared now that they're expired. A lot of these goods come from a company called Heinz. Now, this is a household name that everybody recognizes, but particularly with regards to ketchup. Now, here's what people don't generally know. Teresa Heinz is a big shareholder in that company, in fact, from the same family, who just happens to be the wife of U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, which is also, I'm sure, a gigantic coincidence. Now, it was also back in August that the Venezuelan government stumbled upon a bunch of food and other stuffs that were buried in the ground for some strange reason. Back in August, authorities discovered 50 tons of food and other types of products like detergent, toothpaste in the northwestern port of Maracaibo, the second largest city of the country and capital of the state, Zulia. Now, despite claims being made by the United States and the right-wing media, the Western media in general, there very clearly is an economic war being carried out against Venezuela. This is some serious evidence of that. Now, Nicolas Maduro seems to be taking things in a rather radical direction. He just recently ordered all military officials working in a public administration posts back to the military barracks to be set on standby. In other words, he's essentially taken a lot of the military and put them on, some kind of alert, not active duty notice, but hauled them back together into their barracks to get ready to possibly do something. I have given an order to implement a thought-out and detailed plan for members of the armed forces who have gone into the public administration to provide their services to the homeland to return to active duty. Maduro added that there would be some exceptions for those who are strictly necessary will stay in the public administration in key positions because of their work, their discipline, and their capacity to obey orders. Now, this sounds very much like Maduro's getting ready to take some kind of very serious radical action, leaving certain people in public posts that are known to be, as he said, have the capacity to carry out orders and have discipline. In other words, people that he is fairly certain are still on the side of the Bolivarian revolution. What Chavez may be doing, what Maduro may be doing here is pulling in people who might not be entirely loyal to the socialist gains that have been made since the election of Hugo Chavez in the Bolivarian revolution. Now, we consider this with stuff that we have seen in the past, like certain Supreme Court justices being removed and then reinstated so their tenure begins again, so they can remain in office past the new National Assembly being set up. It seems as though Maduro is really beginning to start maneuvering things in the country to start combating a huge drive that would be obviously taken by the opposition on behalf of the United States. Now, I really hope that this is the case, and he's really starting to really shake things up and becoming prepared to deal with an attempted coup like we saw with Hugo Chavez many years back. Now, Another very interesting thing he's done, aside from the previous incident where he took the Venezuelan state media and handed over its license to its own workers, essentially taking the state media and placing it in the hands of the actual workers so that the new National Assembly couldn't come in and mess with it. What he's done now is he's asked for people to take to the streets to debate on how to rebuild the revolution, how to strengthen it up, how to shore up the gains that they've already made. He said because the right wing in Venezuela has just one program: to destroy the Bolivarian revolution. So now there's video of debates being taken in the streets by Chavistas on how to take the country in a new direction, how to bring the Bolivarian revolution back to its grassroots, how to start listening to the base again, to start serving the people, as Mao said. Now this is somewhat reminiscent of the open-air debates that took place during the Chinese Cultural Revolution. Now I say somewhat reminiscent because it's not quite the same thing. That was a tremendously much more radical time, and much more radical things were being discussed. But I will applaud Venezuela for taking this in the right direction, to taking this to open air debates with the people to be discussed publicly about what it is that they want to do and how to maintain the gains that they have made during the Bolivarian Revolution. All of this is a very good step forward, but I sincerely hope that this is enough to maintain the situation in Venezuela and defend the country from U.S. imperialism. If you like this video and you'd like to see more of them, then head over to my Patreon page and show your support. Or you can go to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and share on various social media.